Okay, let's see if there's something else we can do over here. A new location. You come upon a covered wagon belonging to a newlywed couple heading west. It looks like one of their wagon wheels has been broken. And though they have a spare, it was the heavy corner of the wagon. They don't have any way to lever it up to get to the replacement on. Stop and help them out. You get under your shoulders under the corner of the wagon and heave it upright, muscle straining. The couple get in the wheel in place. The couple get the wheel in place and bolt it on as quick as possible, and then help you out from under the wagon, thanking you profusely. There isn't really a joke here. It's just a thing that happens, I guess. Continue. An ancient seaweed-draped skeleton is shambling toward you, hissing and moaning. I guess we must be near the beach. How do you determine where the desert stops and the beach begins? I don't really know how to tell the difference between the desert sand and beach sand. Okay, explore the home court advantage. Are you one of those drowned pirate skeletons? Because you're a lot less scary on land. Have you got your legs? Have you got your land legs yet? I bet you don't, right? Would it make you land sick if you stand here motionless, not rocking from side to side at all? After a minute, the skeleton turns green and tries to throw you up, but since it doesn't have a stomach, its head just falls off the sea skull. A skull draped in seaweed and festooned with beach glass. Drown with me, it seemed to whisper. This item goes in your offhand. Whoa. Cool. You cross paths with the wandering Sally again. Interested in trading? You bet. Cactus! Dang it. Okay, let's see. Safe cracking. Lock sounds pick themselves. I have 2 hammers, sell 1. 2 monkey wrenches. 2 shovel. And nothing else to sell. Cow fangs. 4 snake skins, a refined meat nugget. Just sell it. Okay, have enough for this one. Let's see if I have safe cracking. No, I don't. Okay, this book outlines techniques for opening safes without knowing the combination. This skill will come in handy if you ever encounter a safe whose combination isn't scrawled on a nearby wall. Read it. Quickly memorize the entire book. Safe cracking. The word safe is a real misnomer when you're around. When you're done reading it, you lock it up in the safe that turned out to be slightly too difficult for you to crack, but it's gone forever. Okay, let's increase the skill. Pete, what do we need to do next? Good doggies. Are you save the day? Okay. Any other ideas? Geologist you met in Frisco? And have you told her you bring your interesting rocks? Oh yeah. Another suggestion. Go give that military cat to the guy at the Lazy Ado range. Okay. The Lazy Ado range and the Dr. Morton's house. I have some weird rocks. Okay, I do not have the weird rocks. Lazy Ado range. Where is it? over here, lazy dude range. You rein in your horse upon hearing the rattle of bones and clanking of chains nearby. With his skeletal figure scuttled toward you. Is a little confusing to look at. Instead of a skull, it has another smaller skeleton growing out on top of its spine. It also has a manacle locked around one of its ankles, trailing a length of broken chain. Looks like it escaped from somewhere. Intimidate. Lean in close to a small upper skeleton and give it a hard look in the tiny eye socket. Then you flick it with your forefinger, hitting it right in the middle of its baseball-sized head. Squeals, and the whole thing scuttles away in dismay. Good. Now have to fight it. Lazy dude range. Say some about a dude with a hat. Oh yeah, did you find one of those old army hats, man? I rate you. Yeah. Nice, man. Barter is like commerce. Man, except natural. Can you dig it? Strange hat sack. Its hat is more like a sack woven from red, gold, and green wool. Is it something made out of a dream? It is formed from what you muscle. That's it. Let's head back to Dirt Waters. Shaggy Dog Cave. Okay, I'll go there now. Spear Battle Cactus. I can't believe I missed this location. There's a plaque bolted to the cave wall here. Read it. A record of the events of the expedition to and into Shaggy Dog Cave, November 1887, as recorded to Jim Blake Wright. Okay. Having acquired through various and sundry means a story which is interesting in its own right, but better saved for another time. A map purporting to lead to a large cache of jewels and ingots of precious metals hidden by the infamous highwayman and train robber Black Cole Jr. in the years before the cows came home. I, Jim Blake Wright, along with three compatriots, these being Nathaniel Wyman, Cyrus Howard, and Douglas Watts, set out to find Shaggy Dog Cave and the aforementioned treasure. Our equipment and provisions consisted of one cart and one horse support. For additional horses we had ridden, two shovels, a spade, and a mining pick, a large oil rope, one large basket of eggs, as well as an assortment of water trails, provision and cookware, my own collection of blank plates and engraving tools, one large and shaggy dog, and a butt-for. What does it mean a butt-for? After traveling for 2.5 days to the south and east, we arrived at a small town named Dirtwater, the largest settlement in the vicinity of Shaggy Dog Cave. Leaving the dog to watch the horses, the four of us entered the local saloon and each ordered a beer, except Said, who was satisfied with water. The barman provided our drinks as requested, and then we threw a small wooden box from underneath the bar, asking us if we cared to witness something real interesting. Considering that we still had quite a few hours left to travel, we politely declined and asked if he knew the way to Shaggy Dog Cave. He replied that he had never been there personally, but gave us rough directions, which correlated nicely with the notes on our map. Upon leaving the saloon, we discovered to our dismay that some unknown villain had tampered with our wagon. Fortunately, the only supplies missing were the butt-for and the entire basket of eggs, apart from one that the dog had concealed within the pocket of safekeeping. We also discovered that the dog had absconded with one of the horses, forcing Nate inside after drawing up lots to share. How long it escaped? After acquiring a barrel of fresh water for the trip, as well as a replacement butt-for, we headed out into the open desert. The sun shone down mercilessly upon us. though we look more solace in the fact that it would have been far more intolerable had we made this expedition during the summer months rather than November. In order to pass the time on the trip and resist becoming dazed from the heat and susceptible to desert mirages, we exchanged our stories of our youth, which I will not be retelling here for reasons of length. However, we'll relate to you 3 odd occurrences that happened to us during our trek through the desert. First was 2 or 3 hours of dirt water, out of dirt water when Nate noticed a glint of sunlight upon a metallic object partially buried in the sand. It was revealed to be a brass oil lamp of foreign design and manufacture, which, for too choicely, still contained a quantity of oil. Deciding this might come in handy, we stashed it in the wagon with our other tools. Our next encounter was with a nomadic goblin tribesman who we discovered spoke excellent English. It inquired as to our destination, and we replied that we were looking for Shaggy Dog Cave, though we did not disclose the reason for our journey. The goblin confirmed that we were heading on the correct course and mentioned that he had only a short time earlier witnessed a large and shaggy dog riding a horse in the same direction. We all agreed this was an unusual sight indeed and continued on our way. Sometime later, we encountered a large adobe hut occupied by 2 identical seeming old men with wild hair and long white beards. They invited us to take shelter from the heat, which we gratefully accepted, and introduced themselves as hermits. This struck me as peculiar, given that there were 2 of them, but I felt it would be rude to question them on that point. One of the hermits confirmed that we were near Shaggy Dog Cave, and the other hermit confirmed that his brother said was true. They also commented that they had seen a large and shaggy dog riding a horse in that direction. We all agreed that this was an unusual sight indeed. The hermits refreshed our water supply in exchange for our butterball, and we continued on our way, excited to finally be nearing our goal. My throat cannot handle. After 2 more hours, we finally arrived at Shaggy Dog Cave, carefully keeping our excitement in check lest we become incautious. We unloaded our equipment and supplies from the wagon and took a brief respite in the cool shade of the cave entrance. To celebrate our arrival, Dode pocketed and shared the egg he had saved from our basket that had been sold in dirt water. Once we were rested, we decided the time had come to explore the cave. Discovering that we had neglected to pack torches, lanterns, or any other light source with which to illuminate the cave, we declared that it was indeed fortuitous that Nate had discovered that antique oil lamp during our travels. We gave the brass a quick shine and then a little quick, and we were relieved to discover that it lit easily and provided a very adequate amount of light. As we headed into the cave, we were further encouraged by the fact that the floor was quite even and easy to traverse, and there were no side passages which might cause us to become lost. Despite this, I resolved to hang a number of lights to mark our progress through the cave and engrave them with the tale of our journey, such that others who discovered the cave after us might be entertained and edified by our story. Soon we came to the end of the tunnel, while Nate signed those turns with the excavation and completed the last of the aforementioned lakes. It was a matter of perhaps an hour before Sai's shovel struck a wooden surface with a hollow noise, and we hauled a traditionally styled treasure chest out of the hole with great excitement. Chest was locked with an ancient and rusting iron padlock, which broke easily from a single swing of our pickaxe. We opened the lid slowly, and the flickering light of the antique oil lamp shone brilliantly upon jewels of every color and shining ingots of precious metals, just as promised by the legend of Black Paul Jr.'s choices at our triumph. We loaded the chest into a wagon and began the journey home. Thank you for reading, and may your own endeavors be equally successful. Signed, Jim Blake Wright. Okay, there's a hole over here. A completely empty hole. Now what do you do with that information? Go back to that water and ask the barman? Maybe? Hey Lloyd. I heard you had something interesting back there. Yo, there we go. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Maybe my info's too old. I found a note from some travelers that passed through here about 80 years ago. Oh yeah, that was the previous partner. He had a little trick he used to offer to show people. It's what got him fired eventually. The senator's wife wasn't amused. He rummages around under the bar for a minute, then blows the dust off a tiny piano, about 9 inches tall. Here, you can keep the piano so long as you don't ask me about a trick. Okay? It's a miniature piano. It'll be the right side of a football tickler of the ivories, but a winding key on the side seems to indicate that it places itself. Thanks. Poker room. Piano. Kitchen. No, it's a stage. Okay, I need to recruit more people. Can I play some poker? Yes. I don't have 25 minutes to play poker.